Oh man, there's just something about this intro song. It's iconic. It's truly a bop. I can like taste a Lunchable as soon as I hear it, like a Capri Sun. I can feel it filling my mouth. And then Disney bought it and ruined it with this dumb Trapper Keeper opening a new song. Blech, I hated it. But hey, Disney owning Doug opened up the gateway for us to get a true gem. Because in 1999, all the way back in MGM Studios, there was a wonderful live stage show called Doug Live. This thing ran for like 2 years, and it brought it brought something. I don't know if any of you had the opportunity to experience this back in the day, but I'm about to deep dive into the super weird Doug Live. This is the same live theater in MGM Studios that like Drew Carey had that show where he like ate a camera. Does anyone remember that? Is it only me?
Not in your mouth.
And like every good Disney live show, we start with some pre-show warm-ups. A woman comes out in Bluffington attire. She's got a weird dress, big blue hair, glasses. She says things like getting jiggy with it. And she does all the pre-show essentials, right? There's an awkward dance-off that we force people into. We pick a Quail Kid, that's fun. But mostly it's just propaganda to get us to hate Rubber Man, Quail Man's evil villain, and praise Quail Man, Doug's self-loathing alter ego. The original animated Doug title sequence is iconic. Literally so iconic you just saw me do it. They transitioned this to stage like butter. It's so smooth and genius. We get this very tactile light switch flip, like it's the downbeat of the opening song, as Doug walks out into a bright door frame onto an empty new page of his journal, name scribbled on the top, alongside his best friend and mischievous pup, Porkchop, who then leaves his mark on the page, and then paint on the audience. Let's talk about the two characters we've got so far. We've got Doug, and Doug is just in a white polo and a sweater vest. There's a scene from Doug where he like goes into his closet, and his closet's just full of the same outfit like 12 times, and I was like, as a kid, I was like, oh, I guess that makes sense. You never see cartoons change their clothes, do you? Doug just has a couple squiggly lines on the top of his head. Like just thinning hair, I guess. But I guess we translated that into some spikes. There's just a lot of hair gel. This is like Doug Live sponsored by hair gel. And then Porkchop. This is just the beginning, folks, of the face paint. But Porkchop is essentially wearing some Walmart onesie pajamas. Then we just paint the face gray with a little bit of eye accents. Porkchop has human teeth throughout this. It's a dog with human teeth, which upsets me so much I can't even begin to describe. He's got opposable thumbs, which come into play later. And then we get this cool collar thing. It's this fun big collar piece. Overall, I like the Porkchop aesthetic. There's a person pretending they're a dog, wearing pajamas, with weird face paint. You know what? It works. We lean super heavy into the binder with this really neat, larger-than-life binder prop with projected pages. And you know what? This is the sort of thing I come to a theme park for. Giant, silly 90s props off of animated cartoons. Like Doug's animated cartoon bedroom, I literally would have moved into it if they would have let me. Just let me live on that set. I don't care that it doesn't have heat. I don't care that there's no bathroom. I don't care. Look how cool that bed is. So the opening song recounts as Doug has moved into Bluffington. He's a new kid, and he doodles some of his new friends on the page, one by one, and then suddenly they leap off of the page, literally. This is one of the coolest things ever. What an amazing transition. My mind is literally blown. This is so cool. Really, I guess I could say the only thing uncool about this is the fact that now I'm part of an unholy face paint fever dream that I cannot escape. Did Disney accidentally buy a face paint company and a bunch of executives were like, well, what are we gonna do with all this face paint? I don't know, let's buy Doug from Nickelodeon and put on a live show where we paint every actor. It's the only way to figure out how we can burn through this stuff, guys. My gosh. Let's just run down the characters, all right? Skeeter, if I remember correctly, he loved to skateboard. He was always honking. And he distinctly had one eyebrow. And how we decided to translate the one eyebrow blows my mind. Everyone on the show did their own makeup, right? So the eyebrow, it wanders. For Skeeter today is where the eyebrow shall lay, Everyone has their own unique interpretation. The costume's cool, though. I mean, the costume is cartoon. Then we got good old Patty Mayo, as I like to call her, AKA the girl in town with jaundice. Look how yellow Patty is. Mayonnaise, this... She's like a Simpsons character. Choices, Disney, choices. Let's talk about Roger, right? The Wicked Witch of the West, or Elphaba, or whatever you want to call him. Look how green this guy is. Apparently Roger wears hair curlers. That's something I did not pick up on when I watched the show originally as a kid. And really, ultimately, what I'm getting from this is just Jim Carrey's The Mask, right? This is just like smoking, or a wooga, whatever the Mask Boy does. I'm not exactly sure. Okay. And this one kid, you can't tell me in this picture, this one Roger is an Andy Samberg. I would put money on the fact that that's Andy Samberg. Look at him. Look at that face. Now that we got all the players, Doug, of course, reveals that he's in love with Patty Mayonnaise and has purchased a dating book for boys
called The Really Big Book of Dating for Boys.
Skeeter drops in to set up that the Beats are doing a reunion show with one of the coolest radio props ever. My God, I want that in my house right now. K-Bluff radio station rolls in, and I'm both mesmerized by this radical set, but also slightly horrified with this pink-haired Howard Stern. Turn the wall back around, please. They can win 2 Beats tickets if they're the 25th caller into the station. Porkchop makes the call, dogs in this universe have thumbs, I guess. Doug falls into winning Beats tickets with one of the greatest gags ever. I mean, this is what the cartoon was known for.
Ow! Watch it, man, that really hurt!
That's it!
Oh, watch it, man, that really hurts!
It's the correct answer!
But now Doug has to choose between who to take, Skeeter, his BFF, or Patty Mayo, his true love. But then Skeeter takes one for the team, and he's like, hey man, honk honk, you can take Patty. Skeeter's a real bro, man. The next day school rolls around and Doug is super nervous, so naturally Skeeter pulls out the big dating book for boys to give us dating's 3 easy steps. And boy, I didn't even realize how simple dating was, guys, until I got this info. Step 1, ask her out. Boom. Step 2, show up. Easy. Step 3, say goodnight. Perfect. And then Doug's like, step 4, panic. That's some real life truth right there, Doug. Skeeter has this really fun song, but all I can do is stare at these really cool lockers. I wish I went to this high school. This high school looks so cool. Oh my God, I love these lockers. They're so rad. Doug's major anxiety gives us a really fun musical number as he struggles with the heavy weight of self-loathing that we all face sometimes where we hate ourselves. Thanks, Doug. This show is really deep, man. I mean, we're diving into the serious insecurities of a teenage boy, honest to God, the panic of, you not being enough to be interesting to somebody else. Isn't that, one of everyone's biggest fears? Ooh, self-worth journey in this show, man. After a back and forth with Doug's anxiety, he spits out that he's taking Skeeter. Oh no! He's ruined his chances with Patty! Then, of course, Roger comes out of the bathroom with 2 Beats tickets of his own and asks Patty to go with him. Oh no, my heart! Doug! Ugh! Why am I sweating with anxiety right now for Doug? This scene was rough. Did Roger find the tickets in the bathroom? Did he wash his hands? What if he was just pooping and now he's touching those tickets? Doug truly continues into a deep anxiety spiral. The stage gets dark. It fills with the faces of his friends, all laughing at him, calling him a loser. This is like some Joker origin stuff. Then we transition into the fantasy realm of Quail Man. Porkchop comes on, of course, in Quail Dog attire already. It's cool to watch Doug suit up. The costume is so accurate to the cartoon, my heart is literally singing for this. With the belt thing around his head, how cool is that? So now we're in Doug's Quail Man fantasy. He journeys to the thicket of solitude to look up some planets. Stop talking about science. This is an Epcot. I'm not here to learn. Then we hear Patty call out for help as Quail Man zooms into place. And then Roger appears as Rubber Man in a cool suit, like a George Clooney Batman suit. You know what I'm talking about? But remember, we've all been indoctrinated by that blue-haired woman in the pre-show to hate this man. So when we see him, we begin to aggressively boo. So here's Rubber Man's evil plan. He plans to siphon off Quail Man's confidence by making him wear a bike helmet that insults him to death. Is anyone paying attention? Someone call the CIA. This is the most genius way to take someone out. Quail Man gets tricked into putting this helmet on, and he begins to lose confidence rapidly as Rubber Man powers it up. And so he transforms himself into like this dashing 007 guy, and he's like, hey, I'm full of confidence, but it's all fake. It's all a sham. And now we're really truly getting into some deep Inception levels of insanity, all right? We're now in the fantasy world of a fantasy character that Doug has created for himself because he hates himself.
What is going on?
Doug can't even catch a break in his own fantasy.
My friend.
Quail Dog's telepathic bit is great.
Yes, I'm communicating with you telepathically.
Then how come I can hear you?
You must remember.
The Quail Dog telepathic voice bit gets a laugh on every recording I watch. Like, the audience loves that. We love meta humor. Quail Man is, he's laying there writhing in pain, and like suddenly Quail Dog summons us, the audience, to cheer him back to life, to cheer him into confidence. Like Tinkerbell, clapping to bring Tinkerbell back to life. Like, we are all tasked with telling Quail Man he is enough, that he's good enough. And and it works. He's like, oh, people love me. I am cool. But I don't know if this is the best moral. So what? Ultimately, Doug is left seeking external validation because he can't conquer his own self-loathing? Was Doug bad for us? Anyway, that kid we picked in the pre-show gets a fun moment. He's like, I love you, Quail Man. And Doug's like, that's the love of children is all I need. Belle, it's me. And then somehow Rubber Man explodes from our cheering. Did we do this? Did we just kill a man? Doug awakes from his fantasy. Maybe learning a lesson? I'm not exactly sure. And then Skeeter's there to be like, hey man, honk honk, you're a great friend, I love you. And then they're off to the greatest reunion concert of a lifetime. The Beats. The Beats, man. There was a time in which the Beats and Aerosmith were in the same park at the same time. The British invasion, baby. When the Beats enter, it's kind of hilarious. I get real Electric Mayhem vibes. They're ridiculous looking. They're off. It's amazing. It's truly amazing. It makes me so happy. The costumes, though, in the bit, it's all so short-lived. Like, it was cool to see them. And as I wrote this joke, talking about how short it was, Patty immediately follows it up with a meta joke in the show the entire audience dies at.
Cool concert, huh?
Yeah. It was a little short, though.
Again, we love some meta humor, even in the 90s. Skeeter then announces that he's off to the gift shop to go get some Beats merchandise. And so help me God, if there isn't a Beats shirt in the merch shop when this show is over, I'm going to riot. Doug and Patty have this really sweet moment where Doug is finally seen for being himself. It's really nice. I don't know, guys. I don't know, why am I crying in a hurricane-proof theater in the middle of Southern Florida? See, kids, it's okay to be yourselves. Doug, like, is devoid of personal space in this whole final number. Like, he just keeps going in for the kiss, and Patty is just like, it's not happening, man. Stop trying to kiss me, bro. Then Skeeter comes back, decked top to bottom with Beats merchandise. So help me God, if there is not Beats merchandise in the gift shop after this show, I am going to riot. What do you mean the only Doug merch was a lunchbox you could get at the commissary? What do you mean? I had one of these. This was it? This is all we could have gotten? I kept pencils and pens in this thing for probably close to 10 years before we got donated or something. I don't know what happened. The sticker was peeling off. You know, we had written our names on it 100 times in Sharpie on both sides. It was stained with the wax of 1,000 crayons. Oh my God, the end, there's this one joke right at the end where Skeeter's like, oh man, nice theme, Doug.
Cool theme, Doug.
Hey, why do you think they call it a theme park?
Barf! I lied about all the meta humor. Get rid of it if this is the kind of thing I have to endure. Look, this is the barf theme park pun level 6,000. Well, that was Doug Live. Hope you enjoyed this. Thanks to the Patreon viewers at home who helped vote for this live show, as well as many others. If you're part of Patreon, you can help us pick which live shows I'm going to dive into and talk about next. So join us there, or find us on Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, TikTok, all the places. I'm even on Twitch, streaming. Not right now. Well, maybe right now. I don't know. Go and check. Oh, and hey, have you been following Kenny and I around on our adventures over on our channel, Please Stop Vlogging? That's the name of the channel, but also instructions. We need you all to stop vlogging, please. Please, everyone stop. Leave it to the professionals. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, you rock. Do 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 do.